when you see this combination with the star and this lettering, it's clear that it's Maybach time on Autogefühl today. The Mercedes Maybach S-Klasse. Today they set something on the top of the most extensive S-Class facelift of all time, now in the most exclusive Maybach version. And yeah, we Germans like to have these in the language. Maybe not that beautiful, but that's how it is. But we can find a lot of beautiful details with this vehicle here. We'll give you a full tour, exterior, luxury interior, and the tech facts, what we have under the hood. I'm Thomas, this is Autogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with the larger front grille, special Maybach design then. This is also illuminated then, the lettering, and also the vertical fins, they go through the sensor area as well. The illuminated top star on the hood is new for all S-Class facelifts. Not every market will get it. Europe, for example, not yet, but in North America, for example, and some Asian markets, they do get it. And then here the Maybach version also has this chrome fin on top of the hood as an additional extra. Then new headlamp unit with 40% more power for the high beam, 600 meter of range. Also illuminations here of the Maybach logo inside the headlamps. This is a beautiful detail. And also special here in the lower part, the logos once again that cover the whole area here, where a normal S-Class would have maybe like the AMG line details or something like that. This one here is also an extended length, extended wheelbase. The Maybach version also has extended wheelbase, overall the longest S-Class at 5 meters 48 or 216 inches, so even longer than the long wheelbase version of the S-Class. And here the wheels, in this case 20-inch, but you will also get 21-inch. And here now news, the Mercedes star always stays upright when the car is stationary. Maybe also when it's running, let's see about that. And you can also turn them for fun, maybe something for your kids to do then. This is also a forged wheel. And this is the combination. If you have a forged wheel, then you also get this special star stays upright feature. Here we also have the two-tone paint. It's really nicely done right here. You could also get for like one body color, so just depending on what you prefer. This is Verde silver on the top part. So this is like greenish silver and then white in the lower part. Flush door handles and they come out when you press or slide them. Illumination also soon more to the interior. Then also rear axle steering is now standard 4.5 degrees, optional 10 degrees rear axle steering, especially important for this long wheelbase. And here also illumination for the badge at the last pillar. This will also not be allowed in all markets, so it really depends. New tail lamp design, taking over from the normal S-Class, but then you have the Maybach badge, and also on the right at the S680. This is the top model. In this case then the top V8. Some markets will still get the 12-cylinder, soon more when we take a look under the hood. In the lower part here, also a specific design then for these fake exhaust graphics with this horizontal bar on the inside. Also very interesting. Air suspension is of course also standard, and in the Maybach driving mode you have a specific setting and a more comfortable setting for the air suspension. First look at the interior, but I want to open the hood first. So then, because we take a little bit more time with the interior very soon. So we would start with the inline 6-cylinder, 3-liter, then for the plug-in hybrid model. Then, like here, you have the 4-liter V8 in 2 horsepower specs. This is the stronger one, 612 horsepower plus the e-boost, because now you always get mild hybrid if you don't have a plug-in hybrid. And in some markets, they will still offer the 6-liter V12. But not for all markets, for example, also in Europe, then here the V8 will be the top engine. But this one also accelerates in under 5 seconds, so you'll be more than fine, definitely. There we go. And this is here another version. This is the S-Class Maybach Night Series Special Edition, so to speak. Dark chrome key fob and a lot of dark chrome here, for example, around the front grille. You can very well see also the illumination, the outer, or the actually, it's an inside frame here, the illumination around. And once again, the illuminated lettering here. This is the one which is not illuminated here, the classic Mercedes star, and then also in dark chrome. Here also with a fin in dark chrome. So to get an even more, let's say, sinister look. Still, two-tone paint. You have the Maybach logo inserts right here. And this scheme, haven't seen anything like that. Also here placed on the wheels, 20 inches well, and all the way over the wheels. Is that too much for you? Or will it be exactly right? Tell me in the comments. Then you can see the two-tone paint. Then once again, dark chrome here in lower part around the door handles. No bright chrome whatsoever. Also not in the lower part here, so that you don't have this classic elegant chrome scheme, but rather the dark one. And now starting to go into the interior. First of all, inside of the doors, this Baumeister sound system, these speakers actually move in and out. Then you here have more inserts. For example, you can get it here, like in this, this lacquer paint and with the stripes, but you could also get matte wood, for example. These here do not move. Some new Mercedes models do have them with feedback again. Standard 4 window levers. Then you can also control some shades here already, for example. Everything covered from the inside of the door as well. Maybach entry badge. And they even have more dampening material on the inside if you compare it to the S-Class, for example. Soon more to that. Steering wheel. This is like this lower vertical slot design. And then you also have new here, or returned, of real physical dials for the cruise control, right side for the volume jog, for example, and this one, and also here with the, the high gloss lacquer steering wheel around for more exclusive design, if you prefer that. The seats also have different patterns. For example, here also always with a double stitching, whereas a normal S-Class usually has like a mono stitching. Microfiber head restraint, that's nice. Most of the stuff you see is animal skin still, but they do offer an alternative for the very first time. You can also get an animal-free interior, so really good that they also make a move in that direction now. It will be a little bit different. Maybe we can show that to you at a different time. And then here, is like comparable with an S-Class from the seating comfort. Like the stitching and so on is a little bit different. Steering up and down, in and out, then here, electric way. You also have the Maybach logo in the digital instruments, for example. This is also an exclusive thing. And you also have new air vents with this S-Class facelift. Ambient lighting already integrated right here, and soon more to the whole cockpit and so on. Here, this very interesting detail when I pull out the seat belt. Yes, that's my hobby. Here, this is the symbol for the heated seat belt, up to 44 degrees, 111 Fahrenheit. It's really a nice luxury feature. Doesn't have to be. Also available for the normal S-Class, but new luxury feature. And here, have you seen these pedals here? Special Maybach pedals they employ here as well. And by the way, the base price will be around 175,000 euros, 180,000 euros, something like that. There's also more extra equipment, so it will be a little bit more expensive than before. However, as it stands here right now, with a lot of options, of course, like more like 250 or something in that region, so more in the regions of I could also buy a flat for that. And then here, this new cockpit, new S-Class cockpit is digital instruments, passenger screen here, and then 14.4 central screen. There are a lot of black bezels, you gotta say that. And you have more horizontal orientation. Before it was vertical. Once again, the ambient lighting, nice integration, everything wrapped and covered. However, the rest is less high gloss black, at least if you want that, So for example, here the buttons, here is like the drive mode selection. There you can also select in the Maybach mode. New inductive charging pads here, left and right, also ventilated. And then this is this very elegant design with the lines. Manufacture is like their special workshop for that. However, you could also get for a matte wood there. And my favorite features belong here, like this is the adaptive cup holder thing. They also have some illumination. Can't get it to work here at this moment, but these middle fields would be illuminated, and they're really now adaptive, so bottles don't fly all over the place anymore. USB-C chargers right here, and it's also nice to open and close this one. Here, split armrest, 2 more USB-C chargers. The middle console in the rear will soon also be very, very interesting. Headroom, 1.89 meters, 6 for 2, still some headroom left. And here is also like everything is covered. And even the animal-free interior will be covered with everything. They will have like a fabric linen leatherette mix. Looking forward to that as well. And what's also pretty cool is that you have this split sun visor here, that you have this one also done here in the front. So that's a nice move. And once again, even in the top, some more ambient lighting, for example. And the key thing of Maybach is, of course, that everything can be individualized. You have so many colors and combinations on the exterior, on the interior, so any color you could possibly imagine you could then pick. And what they also do, because I took a look at the workshop here today as well, you can also get individual stitching. For example, if you say like, you want your personal logo or your initials, maybe like you want them here in the head, in the cushion, something like that. This would also be possible, or maybe on the seats. So this high level of individualization, this is what it's all about. Here, by the way, the glove box, also nice fabric covering from the inside, folds down smoothly. Yeah, and really massive middle console here. But by that, you can also really use all of these materials and also the individual materials you would possibly like to have. I think it's time for the rear seats, because this is always something very, very special. And actually, we do have also electric doors. It depends on like from where you want to use them and how. So when I get in here on this side, I can also open them for Jonas then, for the camera. So there we go. This is the way. And you can either control them from these screens, 13-inch new screens here with new infotainment and hardware on it and so on. I can also open them right here. There we go. So here I can, for example, also open or close the doors. So like this here can be opened from there or using the central display. Left from there. I don't know why it's not working yet. Ah, okay. Because you say like just on the other side, but I think it's more actually handier here to use the button in the top. So here in this case you press and hold, there we go, to open it, or you pull it once and then it closes again. And here you feel that you have this even longer wheelbase in this version in comparison to the normal. I mean, look at that, even when I'm driving here as a tall adult, so much legroom then with this extended wheelbase. And then you have these additional cushions then here for your lower area. Then a nice detail here, illumination of the seatbelt holders here. Then you can also find them at night. Isofix also in the rear seats. Then we have the seat belt bag or belt bag. So this like inflates a little bit. So in case of a crash, it's not applying so much pressure to one area. And this pillows, you can also cover then the lower area, for example. The seat belts in the front now also have a heating function, by the way. This is very interesting in combination with seat heating. Then the seat belts in the front get warm. But it's like split in the front. You have the seat belt heating, you can pick. And here you have the belt bags to protect you a little bit better. Here's like an inductive charging pad, which is pretty much exposed. Then you have, let's say, 2 more smartphones here. No, it's not really for like phone calls. By this you could also control here this multimedia system, but you could also like do some other things like control seat massage and so on. This would also be possible. Then here, no, you cannot lift this one up, but there we go, you can lift this whole thing up. And then we have the tables underneath. Let's fold this table out like this. Like this, here we go. And then it also has this small lip when you, for example, have a laptop on here, and then you can like start working or eating or whatever. By the way, there are 4 more USB-C chargers in there, so this could be a good Autogefuehl production vehicle, like that we can charge all our USB-C devices in there, so why not? And then of course here you have the fridge access. There we go. And wow, that's really, really cold in there, really cold. So this will keep everything cold then. So I'm going to take a look at the trunk area as well. And then to, fill it up, there we go, champagne. And then you press them in, that they're also held tight while driving. In the front part here, you can also cool or heat these cup holders, also a nice luxury feature. And when I want to have this one here closed, I can press this button on either side, and then you have an electric closing of this middle console. This is a quite spectacular feature, of course completely unnecessary, but this is of course not about necessity, but about luxury. And yeah, luxury is not what we need, what people maybe want. There we go, and then we can put this glass in. Maybe it needs some polish, against the fingerprints and so on. Also new air vents here, by the way, in the middle part. This is a new styling. And then what else do we need? This is here behind the driver's seat. But there is, of course, this chauffeur function, and for that I need to go around one more time. Then we can maybe switch the position, Jonas and I. And I also can take off my shoes, because now it's about that everything folds, as long as possible. And oh wait, no. Why would I close the door manually? I'm lazy, that's why I have to do it that way. So, and now, let's see about this function here. Goes forward, goes up a little bit like this. There's also, ambient lighting here around. That's also beautifully done. Also, the calf rest will go. Not sure if I really like these cushions here in the lower area. Yeah, but that's maybe a personal preference, like what is more comfortable to you. Then these seats go backward a little bit. And the interesting thing is that in the normal S-Class long wheelbase, I cannot fully stretch my legs in that position. Let's see if we have a difference then here now. If that's, yeah, there's, I think this, what does it? What do you think, Jonas? Was it the same? Maybe we have to scroll back to the S-Class, but here it's still, I mean, me with 1A9 6'2", I cannot like, I'm sitting well here, yes, and that's still a luxury position, but like fully stretching my legs would be like this. So also here I'm missing like a little bit, and I think I don't have that problem in the Audi A8 or in the BMW 7 Series. So yeah, but maybe it's a little bit more than in the normal S-Class. I mean, this is a little bit longer wheelbase, so maybe a little bit, but not as much as I would have expected, honestly. So yeah, maybe I have to go a little bit like this then, a little bit like not really straight, or my feet a little bit to the outside, but still nevertheless a very impressive setup here. Also once again here with the ambient lighting on top here and like here, and at the same time not everything is focused on the screens and complicated. For example, here when I want to put up the electric shade, I just pull the window lever one more time or push it down, and this is a straightforward control. This is what I don't like in the 7 Series, that I have like the screen here. This is such an easy control. Here, by the way, laminated windows, of course, front and the rear. And what they have done now is very interesting. So the previous version, pre-facelift version, had active noise cancellation, which made it extremely silent, but at the same time you had the feeling like you have like a vacuum next to your ear. And I felt that was unpleasant. And now they improved the dampen, like the sound dampening and so on, even further, that they say we don't need that anymore. And they also got the feedback, like from me and also from some customers, that they weren't feeling that pleasant with this active noise cancellation. So now the active noise cancellation is done, but still supposed to have like a really, really low noise level. And you already feel even static on the interior. It's so extremely silent in here. And looking forward then, of course, that we can also test or prove that while driving. You can, of course, press one button again, that everything moves up again. Always interesting to look at that for sure. Yeah, you can really see that this middle console here, it really goes through from the top part throughout the whole vehicle like this, so the middle console is almost stretching across the whole wheelbase. This is definitely very, very impressive to see. Of course, you can apply shades and so on, also for this top roof. The rear shade here can also, there we go, put it down electrically. And also here, look at that, how this decor element area, which could also be a matte wood again, also stretches over the seats and so on. So a lot of handcraft in this vehicle, definitely. And one thing is missing is the trunk area, because you saw this fridge there. And we know it from the EQS SUV Maybach, that there you could remove the fridge. And here in the S-Class this was not possible. So you're very limited as for the trunk area. This is the V8 combustion engine, that's why the trunk is also deep. If you would have the plug-in hybrid, it would be on this level, so you lose in height. And here, the fridge is now, as we know from this EQS Maybach, removable. It's pretty heavy, but the thing is, if you don't need the fridge, you could also put it out like this. Be careful not to damage the car. There we go. Yeah, and then you have more trunk space available. with a trade-off of not having cool champagne during the next drive there. So you can decide about that. I think it's a good solution that you're at least a little bit flexible, and it's actually not too hard to put it in position again, and then you hear it like kind of clicking, and then it's in position here with the green light, and it's actually fine once again. So tell me in the comments, what would be your most important feature here about a Maybach S-Class? Looking forward to read that in your comments. And also, which engine would you go for? Maybe the more economic plug-in hybrid, tax benefits, or then the V8? On if you like, you still could get that in your country, would you go for a 12-cylinder? Tell me in the comments. If you think, hey, S-Class is cool, but Maybach is maybe a little bit over the top for me, then we also have the original S-Class facelift review for you, and of course more luxury cars here on Autogefühl. We also have the pre-facelift version, which we drove actually of this S-Class Maybach.